What's up, gang? Hope you're doing well. This video is a question I get all the time, and it's how to attack the zone. Again, I just don't have the time to answer all the questions and whatever, but looking through, there's tons of coaches that we like. Hoopvision68 here, one of our favorite channels to watch and to react to, break down, whatever. Always has very good videos, so I trust majority of the things he says. So there's brilliant coaches out there already answering the questions. Hopefully what I'm doing on my channel is just filtering you guys to those channels. So if you feel like he answers your question, it introduces you to his content, and then you'll find more videos of his that probably answer more questions. Again, we just have these videos, it's only got 6,000 views, but this is probably one of the most asked questions that I get on the channel. Meanwhile, I could upload just some nonsense, quick, shifty dribble hacks video, and it would get 100,000 views. Okay, that's the difference. So we're trying to change that. So go follow, go like, go subscribe. Hoopvision68. Let's watch this video. How to beat his zone. 10 plays to embarrass his own defense.
For the last 11 years, I've been working in college basketball either as a coach on a Division I staff or as a content creator on the media side. Back in 2020, I used my experience to create a video on the 10 most used plays by every college basketball team. But all of those plays were primarily for attacking man-to-man defense. In this one, I'll break down my favorite zone plays. The final set in this video has a special place in my heart because I used it during my first ever scout when I was a
that offense right here. So many people, I mean, this is the Golden State Warriors, obviously. Post splits action, but it's such a simple action to teach, and it's way harder to guard than it is to teach. It's way harder to teach defensively than it is offensively. So these are a really good action. High post catch.
This video has a special
play off of it. Splits action. I just say one to the basket, one to the ball. Like there's plenty of different reads there, but
during my first ever scout when I was a freshman in college helping coach my old high school team. I'll show you how we stole that play from Utah State and scored 12 points off it all in one game, as well as 9 other plays to embarrass a zone defense. In November of 2014, Kentucky hosted Boston University. Kentucky was the tallest team in the country that season, and BU opened up the game and
every high school team that has a dunker, has an athlete, has this. We got hit with this last year. And it's funny because, again, it's one of those plays that if you don't know it, if you haven't scouted it, you can rattle off 4 points a quarter by doing this. If you're well organized. It was funny because the team that did this to us, they ran it once. They ran it straight out of halftime and never ran it again. And I'm like, thank goodness, because our kids were not prepared.
Kentucky was the tallest team in the country,
but basically just double back screens in the back of the zone for the lob.
And BU opened up the game in a zone. Trey Lyles had 8 points that night for the Wildcats, but 6 of those came on alley-oop dunks off the same exact lob play. I call the play Zone America because it feels like just about everyone in the country has it in their zone playbook.
He's exactly right. I've seen this so much, and again, it's just even as a player. So the reason these types of plays are really good, it's like even as a player, you've seen this play, but you're told like not to allow middle. You're told to, in a zone, you're kind of following the ball, hands up. Like it's just like they throw it to the corner, like they get the swing, and so you're trying to take away middle and trying to do your job, make sure no one's flashing middle, and they just cut behind and set a screen, and by the time you get hit here, it's just like it's too late. The way you stop it, obviously ball pressure makes it way better, but typically in a zone you're not pressuring the ball, you're kind of just staying back as long as they are. But ball pressure really helps because it makes that pass a lot tougher. And then obviously here, it's just being whoever the captain is, whoever's the furthest back defender, just talking out these situations, what are happening. Because you don't necessarily want to go under the screen because then obviously you give up that middle that we were just talking about. So it's just tough. You just got to be aware where they are. And honestly, got to win your spot is what I call it.
Zach's start of the play can...
Sorry, I know you guys didn't come here to for me to talk about how the zone stops it.
Forward, usually the weak side forward. Then the offensive player on the wing cuts behind the two defenders being screened for a lob at the rim. Kentucky getting 3 dunks off the play in one game is the most I've personally ever seen, but many other teams have their own version of the play. Here you can see Kansas gets right into it immediately after a baseline out of bounds situation. Next up, we have fist crack, a longtime Bill Self play that became popular on
we've got this play too. And we do call it crack.
Twitter when my friend Gibson Piper posted.
Yeah, this one works really well in high school. You again, think about this. So against the zone, if you have the lob play, typically most teams won't have in high school won't have a player that like you can throw the alley-oop and then one that can catch the alley-oop. So look at the rest of these plays. If you can just practice them enough to where your team is good enough to run it once and then run the next one the next time and then run it again. Like, honestly, that's all you need. You need 2 zone plays that you can just run over and over, and that's going to win most of your high school games. I promise you.
Longtime Bill Self play that became popular on Twitter when my friend Gibson Piper posted about it during the 2018 NCAA tournament. The play starts with an empty ball screen in the left slot. As the ball screen is occurring, the center either ducks in on the defensive center or sets a little screen. That duck in opens up the paint for the ball screener to roll right to the basket for a layup. Baylor stole it from Kansas after KU used to run it against the Baylor zone, but in the Bears version, they run it without setting the ball screen. Instead, they just reverse the ball and cut right to the basket while that duck-in occurs. So we just saw how fist crack is when an offense cuts down the gut while a duck-in is occurring. This next play uses a similar concept, but the cut comes from a different angle. Again, the play is focused on occupying the center by ducking him in, but now the cut comes along the baseline, sneaking into position.
I don't think I've seen this variation.
Behind the defense. It's a play I noticed several teams.
Well, actually, hold on. It's not. Because a lot of these you can teach zone, kind of like an offense, a man offense, how we talk about just like triggers, and then everything kind of falls into place. Zone defenses, you can do that too. So this looks like, honestly, it just looks like a high-low, like they're running a high-low. And one of the reads is you can get that cut from the opposite side, and we get the duck in right here. Looks like it could just be high-low with a runner, honestly, with a baseline runner. And then you just have a couple reads with your posts. So they probably X. But then one of the looks is probably a duck in.
Teams tried using against Merrimack's zone. Here you can see VCU sneaks behind the defense and draws a foul. And then on this one, you can see Merrimack's adjustment. The weak side forward stays with the cutter and temporarily leaves his normal positioning. A lot of times, teams will cut 2 players at a time while the duck-in is happening. The first cutter going out to the 3-point line in the corner, and the second one sneaking into the open space. My favorite version of the play.
Again, it's interesting, right? Like, we can break these down as much as you want to. This is why I really like Hoop Vision. There's a couple other coaches, Coach Mike. There's a few others that do a really good job of talking from a coach's strategic X's and O's standpoint. And I think I typically look at the game from a player, like, Dick Vitale used to say, it's Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's. I look at that a lot. I'm like, a lot of times it's just a player being better than the other player. All of these plays, when I say win your spot, I try to operate from a standpoint of, let's imagine the offense knows what they're doing, the defense knows what they're doing. Who wins that possession? The players that execute better, right? So win your spot. So both of these you can see, we'll show this one. But like defensively, you're not supposed to let someone duck in like that, right? You're not supposed to let someone push you up the lane like that. Boom. And because he's getting pushed up the lane, he lost his spot. And so now that's what allowed that to get open. Obviously, this guy's the captain. You're 2 passes away. You're the captain. You're the lowest. So him being just not perfect, again, this is good defense. He still got around. He still fronted. But he did a 9 out of 10. This guy probably was like a 7 out of 10. But this team executed on offense. Ohio State, they executed 10 out of 10. So well done. But most of it's going to come down to just like execution. Just do your job. And that's why I like college basketball, Euro League. It all comes down to that. Who's executing better, more consistently, more efficiently over the course of a year, over the course of a season. Whereas the NBA is almost all Jimmys and Joes. till you get to the playoffs.
Corner, and the second one sneaking into the open.
Same thing. He's just like winning that post. Like, that's just good post position. And then you don't want to allow over the top, so you got to help double.
Space.
So he won his spot, which allowed his teammate to get it open.
My favorite version of the play comes from Buzz Williams. He has the wings cross each other underneath the basket and then runs the dunk.
Again, it's the same thing. Like, because this post, like, he's just getting open most of the time anyway. So now that he's open, you have to deal with that. And then this guy just sneaks behind.
Duck and sneak after.
I liked it. Sorry I'm pausing it so much, guys.
Unique in that it doesn't really involve any screening, only cutting. It was on the list as unique in that it doesn't really involve.
Interesting. I like this. This is like just misdirection, visual misdirection. Like, obviously you see this guy cutting corner. I like this. You see this guy flashing middle. And so everyone's like taking care of their responsibilities. He's one pass away, so you got to guard that. He's one pass away, so you got to deny middle. Again, it's ball pressure. This one, it's just ball pressure makes this more difficult, but again, you're in the zone.
Screening, only cutting.
I like this. It shows like being able to having players that you can throw a lob to in college, extremely important for being able to attack a zone, because that's another 4 to 8 points a game that you have.
Flash, and the forward is worried about the through cut. Now that those two are preoccupied, the final action is a corner cut along the baseline for a lob to the basket. Villanova killed teams with the alley-oop on this play over the years, sneaking along the baseline for the dunk. But they also used it to throw the ball into the high post around the foul line area, setting up potential high-low action or an...
Yeah, this is just a really good, if you have someone that's a lob threat, you can just play off of this as like an offense. I like this one. This is good. I have not seen this.
Occasional foul line jumper. The concept,
or like not noticed it.
Overload is to outnumber the zone by overloading behind the ball screen. Watch Alabama here. They're setting a ball screen. Chris Youngblood is already behind the ball, and Aiden Holloway is about to overload that side by moving out to the corner. When Mark Sears comes off the screen, now this BYU defender is outnumbered.
This is a very typical high school zone offense too.
Guard both of these guys at the same time. Here, Youngstown State uses a different start to ultimately get into the same ball screen overload concept. Notice how because
you can do it without the ball screen, but and that's where I've typically seen it. I really like this where it's like starts with a ball screen, because you can just do it by flashing him through, flash to the high post, cut through. Like that's how I've typically seen it. I've not seen it often with the ball screen.
Start to ultimately get into the same ball screen overload concept. Notice how two players are behind the ball, and this time it's IU Indy
So we're starting to see a lot of habits. I'll try to pause it a little bit less because we're seeing some of the same habits. Like you have like ball screen kind of fakes or confusion. We're also seeing the zone typically plays inside the three, so you're not getting a lot of pressure up here, which means like that you can survey the floor, you can throw the lobs, you can make the right read. But we're also seeing visual misdirection, like cutting in front of the zone to make the zone guard you while cutting behind the zone while action is happening behind. So cutting in front, obviously he sees that now, but you've got this guy telling him corner, but he's so locked in to guarding this player that he just completely leaves corner. Now his responsibility is still watching middle, and they just completely miss out on this player over here in the corner. Yeah, I like this.
This time it's IU Indy who's outnumbered. At Mississippi State last season, we started our shooter as the ball screener on the left side of the floor. But the play was actually to throw the ball ahead and set another ball screen on the right side. Notice how the shooter, Josh Hubbard, is making his way to that corner, putting two players behind the screen again for the overload. If the defense doesn't know it's coming, it's a very hard play to adjust to on the fly without any pregame or in-game preparation. Next on the list is a very common baseline out of bounds play against zone.
We ran this too.
It starts with two.
I'm a huge fan of, like the statistics have been done. The percentages that you score on baseline or sideline out of bounds, it's actually really low compared to just running your offense. So I like to have like two calls, two setups against the zone, two setups against a man, and then just have multiple options off of all those. So teach the players how to play and how to read and just do different actions. But I think keeping it simple. This one is really good.
This is a very common base
because like you can just X here. You can screen multiple different ways. You can screen the screener actions. You can just all flash to the ball. You can all lift away from the ball while one flashes. It's just, this works at every level. It's just simple. One thing you're noticing about a lot of these zone plays too, you want it to be easier to teach the offense than it is to teach to defend it.
Baseline out of bounds play against zone. It starts with 2 players, usually on each elbow, Xing out by cutting diagonally across each other. Occasionally, the X cuts themselves can lead to some defensive breakdowns with the offense getting an easy dunk. But assuming that's not there,
yeah, there we go. They kind of just played out of it. Maybe
the next step is to cut a
that might have been there. That might have been the play. Yeah, they kind of just play out of it.
Another action I noticed Merrimack got beat on a couple times last year, but they're hardly the only one.
Yeah, I like this. This is a very simple. We ran this same thing in our AAU team.
In that corner, we ran a series of plays at Mississippi.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. The whole point of this channel is to build up and enhance more channels like this, not to steal their content. So we're going to stop at number 4. If you want to see 4, 3, 2, 1, you got to go check out Hoopvision68. Go like, go subscribe. Comment down below though, like what are some like similarities or differences that you guys run? Do these type of videos help you? Does it ruin the experience if I only watch half the video? Does it entice you to go click on their channel? Again, this 3rd channel I'm making, I want to just do as much basketball as possible, but I want it to enhance the basketball and push the game forward. I don't want to take from people's content because this amount of time and effort that would have went into this video, I can't even imagine. And I don't mean just the editing process. I mean all of his prior knowledge of all of these teams, prior knowledge of all basketball in general and X's and O's goes into making these for 6,000 views. Like he'll keep getting more over time because this is just a brilliant video, but I want this to start becoming our main focus and people understanding, where do I go to learn basketball? Well, Hoopvision68 does a great job 5-on-5 stuff, especially at the college level, and how to tee, blah, blah, blah. You can go to this channel, learn this channel, learn this, my channel for this thing, this for this, and yeah, our channel for discussion on all these topics, but their channels to learn and dive in. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Love you all. Suggest some more videos. Take care.